It was good, YouTube. This is Who Was Like God. I'm coming at you really quick on my break. You know what I'm saying? And I'm actually I wanted to make a quick video, so I'm trying to hustle the time I got to talk about something that's on my mind, hopefully to the glory of God. Basically, I just wanted to talk about this whole William Murphy situation. Basically, William Murphy's a famous black preacher, and he just joined the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. And I wanted to make a video to ask what y'all's opinions was, because the thing about me is I like to make logical and reasoned judgments about everything. You see what I'm saying? So there are people who say that they joined these Greek fraternities and it's completely reconcilable with their faith. You feel me? There's other people that say that you can't be a Christian and be in a fraternity because there's a lot of oaths you got to take on a lot of things where Jesus said you can't serve two masters, and joining the fraternities is like putting that as your master, and you got to co-sign a lot of stuff or say oaths to other deities and other Greek, you know what I'm saying? So my personal feeling is I don't rock with the fraternities. I got no intentions of joining one at all. You know what I'm saying? None of the divine nine. I ain't got no intention. I'm inclined to speak against it, but I want to make a video and just to hear other people's thoughts. If y'all have ever been in one, do you renounce it? Or, you know what I'm saying? Do you think, is it just, if you're honestly on biblical principle, is there anything that is totally irreconcilable that you cannot go to these fraternities without compromise? And I want to hear what y'all got to think, because my personal opinion is one of skepticism and one of avoiding the divine nine. I don't think it's a good look. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to post that question because I do generally I heard different perspectives, and I like to get like a logical conversation based on those things. But two things I want to say is, one thing I think is interesting is how it seems like the children of God have always had this fascination with Hellenization. And I think it's so fascinating that in the same way the old saints and the old Israelites were fascinated by Greek culture and started adopting Greek names and interacting and things like that, in many ways you still struggle with the same problem. You know, I just think it's fascinating that in many ways it seems the same in our communities, where in the same time, in the OG times, in the biblical times, you had the Israelites being Hellenized and then many of them sort of adapting to that culture, whereas now in the black community, a lot of this is just this Hellenized angle. Our groups rooted in Hellenization. I just think that's interesting. The one thing I gotta say is there's a distinction that's gotta be made, because I want to make another video about this, but when you study the scriptures and the old saints that came before us, what we can see is that there's a difference between compromising and sacrificing the truth and, you know, selling your soul in that sense and just interacting with the world around you, so that knowing how to interact with the world around you and see objective truths in other cultures and use those things as a means, as a bridge to tell people the knowledge of the Most High, to tell people the gospel. I say this because we can look at the way the apostles moved in the world around them, being able to, you know, not sacrifice the truth, but based on biblical principle, see things in other cultures that line up with the Bible and be able to use that as a bridge to tell people the truth of God. We see the apostles do that, and we even see old saints like Ben Sirach do that in the book of Sirach. So it's not just the apostles, it's this whole lineage of spiritual and physical forefathers, physical from many that came before us. So there's a difference between understanding how to use the world around you, because God fundamentally made everything. So since God made everything and the objective truth is we're rooted in God, seeing that in other cultures and using that as a medium for the Most High, there's a difference between that, which is a good thing, and compromising and sort of, you know, losing your own identity to another culture and sacrificing the things and the precepts of the Most High for another culture. So I think it's interesting that, you know, since the old saints struggled with that back then, it seems like it's resurfaced in the black community, and this whole fascination with Greek culture and the Hellenization, based on this history that we have, I find so fascinating. But with that point, I want to give that caveat, because there's a difference between being Hellenized and compromising versus recognizing objective truth in, say, Greek culture and using knowing how to speak as a means to use that objective truth that lines up with the scripture as a bridge to bring people to the Most High. You feel me? I just want to say that point. But based on these precepts, I wanted to dialogue a little bit about the whole divine nine situation. I don't like Greek fraternities. I have no intention to join them. In my perspective, it seems like joining them would be compromising, but not everybody feels the same. So I just want to ask what y'all opinions is about that. The last thing I want to do is end this though, because I want to conclude with the real divine 9. And look, man, y'all see that I'm doing this at work because I wrote down the scripture verse on the back of a receipt because I'm using my phone to record, so I couldn't pull it up on the Bible. All right, so Galatians 5:22, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. So this is from the scriptures from the Apostle Paul. So here's the point I want to emphasize, y'all, is if you count that out, those are 9 traits: peace, patience, love, joy, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Now that's 9. Those are 9. So if you are wondering about the divine 9, let me take this opportunity to say, bump the divine 9. Let me show you the real divine 9 in the scriptures. You feel me? Because these are 9 qualities that really let you know if you have the fruit of the Spirit. And I think this is so beautiful because a lot of times we get focused on spiritual gifts like speaking in tongues and this, that, and the third, and doing miracles. And I think all of that is valid. I do believe that continues today. But we can get so lost in the sauce that we can feel guilty because we feel like we're missing something. Whereas there's a metric that we can all use in our own lives, in our own behavior to test against. And if our own lives have these improved behaviors, we can honestly look and see that we have the ability to test if anyone has the fruit of the Spirit beyond, even if you never may have spoken in tongues or anything like that. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I think this verse is so beautiful, as it goes to show that we have a metric that anyone can use and anyone can honestly look at and compare against the scriptures and pray to try to improve on. You see what I'm saying? That if it ain't you're not the way you used to be, and you exercise more self-control and faithfulness and kindness in your day-to-day interactions, you have the fruit of my Spirit, my friend. You can rest assured knowing that if you genuinely have this fruit and you meditate on this verse and pray the Lord to help you with that, if you don't got, say, miraculous, because I personally, let me say, I never spoken in tongues, but the principle is there for all of y'all, that if you really are following these things, you have the fruit of the Spirit. You know, so I think it's a beautiful verse. But in light of all this controversy, in light of all this divine 9, again, I'd like to hear your comments and dialogue. If there's any way to reconcile being a Christian and joining a Greek fraternity, I don't think so, but I like to hear different perspectives. But fundamentally, push that aside because the scripture has its own divine 9. The divine 9 are the fruits of the Spirit, which are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. So I want to make a little video just to put that message out there and give all praises to the Most High. So I pray y'all be blessed and I peep you in the next video. All right, peace.